Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have the Chayote, Sechium edule, maybe the most unusual cucurbitaceae of them all. I'm on the beautiful island of Tenerife and I didn't even buy the Chayote. I found two fruits just lying around in a small park. Maybe someone didn't like them that much, bought them and threw them out of the window. What's unusual about the Chayote? The Latin name is Sechium edule. It's in the cucurbitaceae. A family with lots and lots of edible and also lots of bitter and toxic members. The edible ones, well, usually they have smooth or warty skin, a lot of seeds inside. When they are unripe, most of them taste like, more or less like cucumbers, like when you eat an unripe zucchini or pumpkin, they taste quite cucumber-like. When you eat a ripe cucumber, it tastes more like a kivano. So they're all quite similar. But the Chayote is very different. Well, first, it's kind of, well, hairy slash spiny, very stiff spiny hairs or thin flexible spines. Then, well, this thing with the spines is not so unusual. It looks shriveled up. It's a little bit like a walnut or a brain. Also quite unusual for cucurbitaceae. But it gets even crazier. It has just one gigantic seed. Look at this one here. Only one gigantic seed. And this seed, it likes to start sprouting while still, sometimes while the fruit is still on the mother vine. The seed creates a new plant. Sometimes it does it in the shop or on your shelf. Here I didn't treat it very nicely when I collected it a couple days ago. We actually had a couple green leaves and it looked pretty much alive. I kind of put them in my backpack and didn't treat them very nicely. So it died. Cucurbitaceae stems are often very sensitive. But this was 2 days ago and since then it has sprouted two new stems. One here from the old stem, one directly from the seed. Yeah, you can also see a lot of roots it has created. Well, it's a little bit too dry here in my kitchen, so the roots didn't take root anywhere. But amazing, isn't it? Well, cucumbers and pumpkins and squashes produce hundreds of seeds. This one produces one per plant. You can find it in Spain, in like subtropical areas of Spain, like the Canary Islands or the Andalusian Costa Tropical. From time to time, I think it was brought home by people who went to Latin America and later returned. In the rest of Europe, it's kind of rare. Also, I've seen it in the tropics, but it's also kind of rare. Taste-wise, nothing too great. Come on. Most cucurbitaceae are nothing special taste-wise. This way, it's not even bitter. It tasted more or less like a kohlrabi. Consistency and taste are both more like a kohlrabi, which is in a completely different family. In the cruciferae. Yeah. No bitterness, a slight sourness, and the flavor similar to kohlrabi, and also this tough flesh like a kohlrabi. However, in the Chayote, it's the fruiting kohlrabi, it's a thickened stem. Quite interesting. Well, now let's try the seed. Be careful with the seed, folks. I don't actually know if it's edible. This is commonly used as a quite tasteless vegetable, which you put in stews and soups and stuff. But I don't know if you can actually eat the seed raw. But I'll try it. It tastes good. No bitterness. Yeah, it's tasty. A bit salty, starchy. This here Most cucurbitaceae fruit, as I said, they have a very high water content, like the cucumber, those famous 98%. Most other cucurbitaceae fruit have a very similar content, so a lot of water and not much else, like cucumber, zucchini, and most gourds. They will just make a lot of, they will just enlarge your dish, your stew, your soup, without adding too many nutrients. Of course, they are very healthy. Nutrients are not the only interesting stuff. Of course, they have a lot of vitamins and other things. However, the seeds of the cucurbitaceae, of course, very concentrated, very high in nutrients, very high in fat, proteins, and so on. And imagine one giant seed, which also doesn't have a hard shell, like, for example, in pumpkins, in melons, in watermelons, in ripe cucumbers. If the seed is good and tasty, you basically have a giant tasty snack. But I don't know if the seed is actually edible raw. It's very tasty, so this here tastes like kohlrabi. This here tastes like some I would say chestnut, but they both more feel like kohlrabi and chestnut. The taste is also similar, but I think it's mostly the feeling. I've eaten chayote before, but I've never eaten the seed. Actually, the seed is very good. I know a lot of people who just throw away the chayote. I guess it's too much work peeling this hard and spiny stuff. But if the seed, which I've never really paid attention to, if the seed is really edible, I would go to one such garden, open them all with a machete or with some sturdy knife, not with this one is too much trouble, and just eat out the seeds. So folks, please tell me, do you think chayote seeds are edible raw? Because if they are definitely the best part of the chayote. Okay folks, this was the chayote, Sechium edule, maybe the most unusual cucurbitaceae of them all. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Tenerife. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.